Maybe some detours. We have all the photos around. So in other words, if you live on Evergreen, you don't.
I know, but I know here, you want every year.
None of us do, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter.
No, I
We can do a.
Right, but I wish that copy them.
Hey, Erica, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, yeah, the
I mean,
contract.
we should, right, they should be advising us.
Hi, Erica. Hi, how are you? Good, how you doing?
Good.
Like 5 more minutes.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Oh, right, I didn't know how to, but I was just thinking like,
So think about it and deciding, and I don't want your push to get it.
recording in progress. Yeah. It just says.
What you tell me, you gotta tell me.
Yeah. He's such a man. Because he did it, but yeah. That just summed it up. Yeah. Yeah. I guess you would say good Samaritan, but it's good. Yeah. Now, are we gonna have some, downtime in between? Right. Yeah.
Well, I felt like I'm not expensive, but it just be, you know, but anyways.
And also,
I would pull up as well.
TJ, you're not going over this? TJ? Door is locked over there, I don't know. It's open. Oh, it's open, okay, you're not going over? I'm going over. Oh, okay, okay. Just making sure. People promised 4:30, so we want to make sure 4:30 is happening.
You remember what the story about this? What it might have been? The bill list? You remember what it might have been if you had a question?
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wish to announce that the 48-hour notice is required under the Open Public Meetings Act was emailed to the Asbury Park Press, the Co-Star, and the New Co-Star on December the 19th of 2024, that a copy has been placed on the bulletin board in the borough office and that a copy has been filed with the municipal clerk. Please be advised, public attendance for meetings through Zoom is a courtesy only. If for any reason Zoom fails or is disconnected, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption and action can and will be taken, providing that there is an in-person quorum. Mr. Noble?
Here.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Here.
Mr. Nowicki?
Here.
Mr. Weber?
Here.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Here. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. We are starting early this evening, as you may have noticed, since you are here and others who are not here may not have noticed. But the reason for that is we actually have an exciting event planned at 6:30 this evening. We're going to hold a public auction on those 4 parcels of land on Moraine Avenue, where the Methodist Church used to be. So we don't know what to expect come 6:30, if we'll have 2 or 3 people show up or 20 or 30. And we don't expect this meeting, it's a relatively brief agenda, we don't expect this meeting, the business content of it, to run much later than 5:30, 5:45. We will, I just want to give you all a heads up, the meeting will technically continue, but we will take a break for whatever time remains when we finish the business part of our agenda, and we wait for the public auction to begin at 6:30. That may be a half an hour wait or more. We'll know when we get there, but just a warning to everybody. Okay, with that said, let's go through the agenda. We are on item 5, workshops. There are none. Item 6, approval of the minutes. I will make a motion to approve the September 2nd, 2025 council business meeting minutes.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
I think council presidents reminded me I was not here for that meeting. Was I not here?
You were not there.
I will abstain.
You have to abstain.
Well, actually, can I even make the motion then?
Okay, I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of September 2nd, 2025.
Second. I'm all for doing it right.
No, we are, well, me too.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Abstain.
That one you can do.
That I know.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
I will make a motion to approve the September 8th, 2025 special council meeting minutes.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubitosi?
Yes. Item 7 on the agenda, we will open the meeting to public comments or questions pertaining to anything on tonight's agenda. Other questions and comments to be made. Yes.
I just have a question for clarification on what you said in the beginning of the meeting. Are there going to be public comments tonight for things that are not on the agenda
Yes.
prior to the auction?
Yes.
Okay, it sounded like you said we have to take a break right when the agenda ends, but the public comments is part of the agenda.
Yes.
Okay,
It is.
just wanted to
Yeah.
confirm that.
If you look at, I don't know, do you have a copy of the agenda?
I do, I'm sorry, I'm
It's okay.
out of breath because I raced here on
You'll
the
see
way.
item 13 is public comment, and item 14 is executive session, which there is none, and then we will take the vote.
Okay, we just got confused, wondering if
Yeah,
it didn't.
no
so
problem.
we need to wait till the auction.
Other
Thank you.
comments or questions specific to this agenda? Any online? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment, and
So unprofessional.
It's not nice.
I made sure I turned it
I thought
off.
it was the exact same ringtone.
Oh, it's the electrician. Hopefully everything's good.
I thought
Okay.
it was mine.
okay, we will
Okay,
move
sorry.
to item 8, ordinances. There are no introductions. Welcome, council. How are you guys? And there are no adoptions, so we will move to item 9, communications. And we have a brief communication on Fifth Avenue sanitary sewer update, led by Mr. Doherty.
Yes, Mayor. So the construction has begun on the Fifth Avenue sanitary sewer. The police have been involved with the traffic redirecting and also any type of detours. Everyone in the area was noticed about it. One of the questions we did get from folks was issues regarding sprinklers in the right-of-way between the curb and the sidewalk. A lot of people have sprinklers in there. The contractor understands that if they do damage any of that as they install laterals, they will replace immediately. So they already have all the pipes, all the sprinkler heads on their trucks to replace them if there is any damage to that.
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
I just think our ordinance says if you put a sprinkler in that planting strip at your own risk,
Correct.
and we're not liable for anything or fixing anything to do, so why would the contractor do that
As a courtesy.
as a courtesy? So we're not talking about sprinklers that, because you're doing laterals, we're not talking about anything on the property side of the sidewalk.
Correct.
Okay.
So just to be clear, I understand and we confirm, starting on the 400 block, Madison West, is the start of the construction. And then it's gonna end at Main Street
Right.
during the course of the process.
And the school has been wonderful working with us and working with the police department to notify all the parents as far as a change in drop-off as well for the students for the next couple months.
So where is the drop-off?
On Burnley,
I'm going.
On Brimley.
directly in front of the school.
Matt, just one quick follow-up on Councilman Weber's comment. It's also understood by the contractor that the borough would not be charged anything additional for any repairs that they're doing.
Correct. Yep.
That's sort of a very generous extension of the courtesy. Thank you.
So, actually, sorry, can I bring up one of the things, we ran into this, I think it was the sewer work on Second Avenue. Our ordinances also say that, there's the only grass and trees in the planting strip, and, driveway aprons can go across that, but some people have like a concrete thing going across the planting strip, and unless there's a curb cut, our ordinance says you're not supposed to have that. So when they were all taken up and then replaced by the contractor on Second Avenue, I asked questions like, why are we doing this? Because I would think the goal would be to bring everything into line with what our ordinances are, and like, well, it's just easier to replace everything. And I, for one, don't want something replaced that doesn't follow our ordinance, so can we, I don't know if there are any or how many there are of these on Fifth, but can we take a look at that, or can,
Yeah, that'd be a sort of a question for the attorney. Typically, if a contractor damages anything, they replace what was there. But to the councilman's point, if what was there wasn't supposed to be there, what should the contractor do?
I mean, simply the borough can direct whatever it would like. For example, essentially on the street side of the sidewalk, everything is there, we control that, and we meaning the borough. So, as you pointed out, we have rules about what you can have there, we essentially allow people, there's sprinklers there as a courtesy, but the ordinance makes clear that we're not responsible for maintaining your sprinklers, notwithstanding that they're in the right of way. I can see the contractor wanting to just fix sprinkler heads because it's easier than having almost an independently make insurance claims to the contractor too, without us being involved. I understand that they likely wouldn't be held liable, but I can understand them just having sprinkler heads to just not have a problem with it or get the legal department involved. As far as what you want put back or constructed, that's a discussion with the borough engineers. And,
But also, be the governing body, what do you want us to do?
Excuse me, Matt, I did have a conversation with CME regarding that issue because it had come up at a previous council meeting. And he said that they would take that, right now the contract documents show that they would replace those little concrete walks in that 3-foot strip. But he said that they could easily have the contractor not put those back and just replant them with, topsoil and seed. So we can just remove those, and we just need to make sure that the engineer communicates with the contractor to reduce our contract by that amount.
So then the question would be, what is the governing
and
body?
I just said how I feel about it, but to survey the board here a little bit.
And no, again, it's not on the agenda, so I don't think we will survey the board, but we'll discuss it one-off with our business administrator.
And the exception is if there's a curb cut for that little walkway, our ordinance says it can stay, but if it's not a curb cut, so we just put concrete there.
All right, we will move on. Resolutions, item 10. We have 2 consent agenda resolutions. Anyone want to vote either of those out separately or discuss them? I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda resolutions 2025-296, approval of cadet junior firefighter appointments, and 2025-297, approval of probationary firefighter.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Okay, individual resolutions, 2025-298, approving a shared service agreement renewal with the Borough of Allenhurst for municipal court services from the years 2026 through 2028. Any conversation?
Yeah, I think this is one of our longest standing shared services, and, I know it didn't accompany the original email, but, do we know, is there any changes in this to what we have right now, or is it like exactly similar, do you know?
It's almost identical. We bumped the fees, the annual
Right,
fees.
that's the part that's going to change.
Yeah, we did. But everything else is pretty much the same.
Now jump ahead to the next, same question for the next one, just save the trouble.
Well, the next one's a little more discussion.
Okay.
So, if there's no other questions or comments, I'll make a motion to approve 2025-298, the shared service agreement with Allenhurst for municipal court services.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Resolution 2025-299, approving a shared service agreement with the Borough of Neptune City for municipal court services. Before I ask for comment or questions, I'll announce to all, this is a new shared service agreement. I referenced it very high level. I didn't reference the municipality, but we've been talking to Neptune City for a few months now, probably 4 or 5 months, but we've had to go through a lot of gymnastics, if you will, to get court approval in order to merge with Neptune City, to bring them into our existing shared services. So far, everything's been approved, right down to we have to provide a little more storage space, secure storage space for the court, which will involve knocking a wall through the court into what is currently the mayor's office, and the mayor's office will shrink in half. But I didn't need that much room to spread out my legs or anything, so. But we're gonna create more storage for the court, and this will generate an additional $80,000 of revenue for the borough. So, any other questions or comments?
Just one question. You had 26 to 28 on the previous one.
It's
What's
October
this?
1st of this year to 2028.
So they're concurrent, both of them run the same period.
Yeah, there's a little stuff here, as the clerk just mentioned. We haven't formally been approved. We've been approved for everything, right up to, we have to advertise for hiring a part-time violations clerk. We're complying with everything that's being requested. Neptune City and Bradley Beach should be approving this. It's all still subject to ultimate court approval. Once the court approves it finally, they've already tacitly approved it. That's when we knock down the wall and when the contract starts. The contract might therefore start October 1st, October 7th, hopefully soon.
But definitely towards the end of this year.
And also, Mayor, I think it's also worth noting that our new court administrator came from Neptune City. So this is something the mayor's been working on since day one. And it always seems to be falling together seamlessly.
So this is
I don't know about seamlessly, but yes, it's coming together.
You make it look seamless.
So this is a fourth court that's being shared with
Counting
our
ourselves.
facility, which is wonderful.
And we are the fourth, so 3 other courts. We're still talking to Avon about their referral, so we're still working through hopefully little questions they're asking. So with no other comments, I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-299, the shared service agreement with the, brand new shared service agreement with the Borough of Neptune City for municipal court services.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. 2025-300, this is a resolution adding Kelly Helwig, our recently mentioned new court administrator, CMCA, as the signatory for Bradley Beach Municipal Court bail and general accounts. I'll make a motion that we approve this resolution.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Resolution 2025-301, authorizing a refund in the amount of $850 for a street opening deposit and application fee for 506 Lorraine Avenue. Any comments or questions? I will make a motion that we approve 2025-301 for the street opening, refund of the street opening deposit and application fee for 506.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Resolution 2025-302, the bill list for September 16, 2025. Are there any items on the bill list?
Yes.
Anyone wants to
I just
discuss?
have some questions, and I'm sorry to not get these to the administrator ahead of time. The very first item, a general sewer service, they replaced the hot water heater at the fire department. I'm curious how come we pay for that and the fire department doesn't pay for that?
Well, I don't know,
Aren't we the landlord?
Well, right, I mean, like, I'd technically be on the building, but for, like, I don't wanna say smaller, it's not small, it's like almost $2,000, but, is that,
is this being charged to the fire department budget, I guess is my question.
Let's take a look here. Where's our little cheat sheet?
The subcodes, I don't have them memorized. 51-26310.
So it's 25-100133. Hold on, that's it. It's being charged to the current fund.
Okay, so it's a good question.
is that, like, this doesn't happen frequently enough that I think, oh, we've never done that before. It's not one year, probably, like, once every 10 or 20 years or something, so, I'm just,
It's a
I'm
good
trying to think of
question.
similar things that we do.
It's a good question. I'm not familiar enough with the details of our lease to know whether, whether it's covered under our budget for them or whether it's under our budget as landlord. So we can just pull this out.
Well, I don't,
We can find out.
I'm actually not, I don't wanna pull it out, I don't wanna not, but I think we should just get clarity on that, if that's okay. So I'd say we did, all right, so the other one, page 5, Liberty lines, I feel like I know what this is, Liberty line striping and then the parking lot. Was it just for this parking lot out here, or was there some other striping or parking lines?
Just here.
Just this.
Just between
spot?
here and the big house, the same.
Okay, and then,
And the firewall area.
oh, they got it too.
Right, too. Was that marked specifically?
And
I don't think they got it
Firewall
all.
for parking lot?
No.
No?
Just the,
That's been stretched all
what's
over.
that there?
Okay.
But remember, they also, as you notice, they put down a new coating,
Black stuff.
blacktop.
Seal
They
it.
didn't
Seal it.
they seal it, things like that.
Okay. So, and then, just one, I'm just not familiar, Twin Rocks Water, I'm sure that's the water coolers for, like, the office here, is that like a new company, and is that, it says monthly, like, is that what we actually get monthly for that?
Sorry, which one was this?
Sorry, page 10, Twin Rocks Water,
Twin Rock.
it's like the top of page 10.
Yeah, so you have it, DPW and police department as well. This is to keep all our employees hydrated.
I understand, and I get that, but maybe it's just a different company, I've never seen that before, or did this was. All right.
Yeah, I think our staff just looks for the best value, the best price.
All good. That's it for the bill list. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? I will make a motion that we approve 2025-302, the bill list for September 16, 2025.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Item 11, announcements, there are none. Item 12A, the administrative report. Mr. Doherty, do you have a report for us?
Just two things. One thing that's important to note is even though the season is over, our lifeguards have been very busy, both in Bradley Beach, but also in Avon and in Ocean Grove. performing water rescues on a regular basis. Unfortunately, people are swimming at their own risk, and when they do that, if they don't know what they're doing, they risk our lifeguards as well. So, just to reiterate, don't go swimming in the water, in the ocean, unless you know what you're doing, or if there are lifeguards present. And again, our lifeguards are not on duty. They're there responding to emergencies. Second thing, I just want to mention the auction today. We've gotten a tremendous amount of responses. A lot of that had to do with our marketing. And I just wanted to publicly thank Amy Baker, formerly Amy Hall, for putting together our marketing. I also want to thank TJ Cohan, who's not here. He's across the parking lot, for his involvement in putting this together and helping us come up with, the application, the right language. He's been invaluable through this process. So I just wanted to thank both of them as well. That's all for me, Mayor.
Question,
I have
please.
a question.
No questions, I'm sorry.
Is Park Mobile still active?
Uh,
I didn't see any signage indicating whether it's active or not still.
It's based off of the ordinance. So the ordinance said that, I think it went through today, or yesterday, the 15th.
Labor Day. After that, Park Mobile, if you try to type it in your app, it says free.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't have signage of things.
So we don't need the
But
signage.
it's, and remember, the Park Mobile was based, when it charges, it's based off the ordinance that you passed in the government.
And I think we stopped charging that with the Labor Day.
We still have enforcement yet.
So with there was a drowning in Avon this weekend. Do you know if our guards were like the first there, or did they just assist Avon guards? Do you know?
I know Avon.
They were the first there.
Our guards were the first there.
Avon did not have guards.
Okay. I mean, and just so people know, our guards, they're not sitting in the chairs, they're cruising up and down, and, yeah, there's a lot of activity that morning, and, so I think it's just important, so like, our guards were the ones that were there first. They have been very busy, but that's understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty.
Thank you.
Item 12B, Mayor and Council reports. May I start with Councilwoman Greenland?
Mr. Mayor, the rec board met last Monday, September 8th. I was not in attendance. I was here at a special workshop. Mahjong Open Play runs every Friday, 1 to 3 at the Biazzi Center. Salted Soul Yoga continues throughout September. Check the yoga schedule on the Recreation webpage for details. The Senior Club meets up September Wednesday the 24th at noon. Their meetings take place on the 4th Wednesday of each month at the Biazzi Center. Recreation will be hosting its 4th annual Trunk or Treat on October 26th in the municipal parking lot from 1 to 3 p.m. Sign-ups are currently open. Follow the link on the rec page of the borough website to participate as a decorated trunk handing out candy. Please note that the borough will begin construction site work on Monday, September 22nd, as it refurbishes its playground and facility courts, as well as drainage repair and repaving. The work will continue through the fall. There will be limited public access to the facility. The rec board's next meeting is Monday, October 13th, 6:30 p.m. I believe it'll take place at the rec center. And on to Fletcher Lake. The Fletcher Lake Commission met this past Thursday, September 11th, for its regular monthly meeting. A Fletcher Lake cleanup will take place on Saturday, October 18th from 10 a.m. to noon. Coffee and donuts will be on hand for all those who participate. The Shade Tree Commission has received a $40,000 tree planting grant for the borough and would like to replace the trees recently removed due to emerald ash borer infestation. The Lake Commission expressed concerns about tree pruning and maintenance, as well as the deciduous leaves that fall into the lake and impact its drainage system. The Commission will reach out to our DPW to request a second coat of stain for the bridge, and the Lake Commission is appreciative of both Bradley and Neptune's DPW's meticulous maintenance protocols during storm and weather events. The next Commission meeting will be on October 9th at 6 p.m. in the Council Chamber. And finally, the Arts Council met Monday, September 15th. Mark your calendars now for the Arts Council First Annual Full-Day Arts Festival, Saturday, June 27, 2026. This event will coincide with Bradley Beach's Founders Day. Details ahead as the Arts Council will celebrate the arts through hands-on participation and community engagement. Smaller pop-up events will be planned by the Arts Council throughout the fall and winter. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congrats to the probationary firefighters and the junior cadets we just approved. I actually recognize the names of the junior cadets. They're classmates of my kids. So when I used to give the fire department a report, you'd say how they will take training. It's for people, some people as young as teenagers, and it's cool to see that some teenagers are taking them up on that. Speaking of the fire department, we had a fire a couple weekends ago up on the ocean front. Just so you know, we all got an email from an eyewitness, Chief's not here, singing the praises of our firefighters, of course, but also two police officers that they singled out, just really doing their job and really doing what they're trained for. Did you hear that, Chief? No. Good. You have to watch it on video then. You probably know we got emails about the fire up on the ocean front, singing the praises of a couple of your officers. I think you know that. I just want to remind people that we have an ordinance to put your trash out in a can with a lid on it. You're not allowed to put out a loose bag of trash. The reason is we got squirrels, we got seagulls, we got raccoons, we got foxes. We have other animals probably, but so just don't tempt them with, don't into your trash bag that's out loose on the curb. Put it in a can, have a lid on it. Just keeps the town clean. For the Environmental Commission, we're still looking for an environmental commissioner. We did not meet in September because normally we meet on the first Monday, it was Labor Day, and also we were lacking a leader. I will say congrats to the folks at the school. The school, it was announced they became Sustainable Jersey status, but when you go to sustainablejersey.com, you see Miss Heather Sauer's picture smiling back on a slider of a bunch of different towns. So the school did a great job with achieving that Sustainable Jersey school status. A few meetings ago, we had a workshop on the 5-minute beach cleanup. The signs are finally up for the 5-minute beach cleanup. We did get a local business to pay for the signs, and being such a busy local business, they took a long time to get them fixed up. But they were paid for by Love Light Handmade, which is the candles and pottery place on the south end of town. And I went to go see the signs. Thanks to our DPW as well for putting up the signs and putting up the bags. And if you don't know the idea, there's just a bunch of mesh bags hanging near the trash cans, a couple, just 3 of them. Lorraine, Newark, and Evergreen, and if you're just taking a walk on the beach and you feel like it, you can take a mesh bag, you can pick up garbage, pick up plastic, and then just dump it in the thing and put it back. So I went to see all 3 of them in place, and I saw the Evergreen one, and there was no bags. And I said, I can't believe this, somebody already stole the bags. And I texted the business owner that paid for it, and he said, somebody might be doing beach cleanup. And I was like, I can't believe I didn't think of that. So I have to go back and check if that's the case. We're going to see. We got more bags if we need to, if that is what happened. But hopefully somebody was just cleaning up, and my timing was bad. We'll talk about Sylvan Lake for a second. I thought we had what was a really great meeting here, a week or so ago. But I have to comment on the process. We had it here in this room that could not accommodate everybody who wanted to be in on the presentation or the conversation that followed. And I'm not blaming anybody in the town or anybody that had anything to do with this meeting. It's just that there is no place in town to accommodate a meeting with, 60 people or so, however many people were there. And then later tonight, we're going to have an auction. If 80 people signed up, I don't think this room can hold 80 people. I don't think there's a Zoom component for the auction, is there? Okay, so they have to be here in person. So, we told them they have to be here in person. We don't have a room that will fit that. And so just irony of all ironies. We can't fit people into this room where we're going to auction off the land where we once had a building that stood that could have accommodated all of those people. So true irony there, just pointing it out, and that's my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Nowicki.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, reporting on the first aid. For the operational period ending September 15th, the squad responded to 15 calls and 11 night calls for a total of 26 calls. 14 were for medical, 11 for fire calls, 1 motor vehicle accident, 3 calls involved water rescues. The squad provided mutual aid to Avon, Ocean Grove. The squad welcomes our newest member, Ashley Mazarin. The squad requested no mutual aid for this period. The squad fulfilled 100% of their assignments for this operational period. We are still looking for volunteers for the first aid squad. We offer free training for qualified individuals. Anyone wishing to volunteer for the first aid squad, applications can be found on the borough website. On the police report, September 4th, 2025, a 4-year-old male subject from Neptune was arrested and charged with hindering apprehension, specifically by providing false information to officers, knowing that he had an outstanding warrant for his arrest. Patrolman Edwin Hernandez and Patrolman Stephen Scott made the arrest. On September 5th, a 48-year-old female from Bradley Beach was arrested and charged with harassment as a result of an investigation. Sergeant Michael Tardillo handled the investigation and made the arrest. On September 11th, a 22-year-old Asbury Park man was arrested and charged with obstructing the administration of justice, criminal mischief, and causing false public alarm. Patrolman Rafiq Pickett and Patrolman Daniel Crow handled the investigation and the arrest. Between August 26th and September 14th, the Bradley Police Department also arrested 1 individual on an outstanding contempt of court warrant. Officers also investigated 5 motor vehicle accidents and responded to several calls for service. I have no fire department report, but the letter that John mentioned that we received from a resident, I thought it was it's a little lengthy, but I think it really speaks volumes to the service that our police department, fire department, emergency, medical services, and lifeguards do for our borough as well as other communities. But this really says it all. As you all know, on Sunday, September 7th, the Bradley Beach community suffered a fire in the corner of Ocean and Newark Avenues. I wanted to take this opportunity to obviously recognize the Bradley Beach Volunteer Fire Department for the rapid, well-executed, and highly professional response. Their well-executed and multi-town coordinated efforts prevented this fire from consuming more neighbor homes. With that said, the volunteer firemen and their chief are owed our gratitude for their skillful efforts. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't offer a personal thank you to the towns of Neptune, Avon, and Ocean Grove Fire Companies for supporting the Bradley Beach efforts and containing the fire so quickly. However, I also want to publicly recognize the Bradley Beach Police Department, whose response may have saved lives that day. I was fortunate enough to see firsthand the heroic and fearless actions of this department. While working on the Linny Lou's food truck across the street from the fire, I initially saw a police vehicle race towards my direction and soon began smelling smoke. This caused me to explore outside our truck when I immediately noticed the smoke across the street beginning to escape from the windows and doors of the front unit of 1101 Ocean Avenue. That's when I witnessed Patrolman Ian Ambrose and Sergeant William Major fearlessly and selflessly spring into action. They raced not only to secure the area, but actively began a search and evacuation mission amongst each unit in the complex to ensure the safety and well-being of all the residents. Their valor of racing towards the fire caused my own personal concerns for their safety. I actually raced inside the Linny Lou's truck to retrieve our fire extinguisher for them to utilize while conducting their evacuation efforts in the complex. However, Patrolman Ambrose was already tooled with an extinguisher in hand, so mine wasn't needed. This example just highlights how these 2 officers put the community they serve before themselves. If I was racing to give them a tool to use to be safe. I know with any fire, the focus obviously and rightfully is on the efforts of the fire department, but I did want to give a full picture to each of you of what was witnessed. I saw 2 officers who proudly wore their uniforms, putting service before themselves. I saw 2 officers who didn't pause or crumble under pressure. Their professionalism and response will always live with me. Like I said, I feared for their safety while searching for residents to evacuate. I personally know if there were 2 towers and smoke was pouring out of the windows on the 110th floor, these 2 individuals would be first in line to the stairs to help those in need. So I'll just leave it at that. It goes on and on. But that's just really special. So thank you. And last, I'd like to report at Sylvan Lake, there's a meeting this Thursday, Sylvan Lake Commission here in this room. Also, just a quick update, the Ocean Outfall Project, which is basically placing the old box that conveys the water underneath the dunes, will be under construction. There is no endangered species amaranth in the location, so construction is beginning. We had a pre-construction meeting with the contractor. They are starting to mobilize. They're coordinating with DPW this week because the area behind the sewer pump station where the bathrooms are at Evergreen, that area that in between the dunes, it's open and it's going to be used for storage. There's a couple of sheds back there that DPW uses currently. But that's going to be a storage area for the contractor, and work is going to begin on the 22nd of September, and it will go for about 5 months. So you'll be seeing equipment being delivered. The traffic routes for the material delivery will be either down Sylvania Avenue from 35 down to Ocean Avenue and accessing the drop curb right before Bradley Beach on the Avon side. DEP will also have a trailer set up at the parking lot right there at the eastern end of the lake. So they will have, DEP will have construction management on site during that project. So with that, it's just great to see these projects moving and taking care of business. So back to you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Now we'll turn to Council President DeNova.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just gonna say a couple more comments too about the fire. A friend of mine lived in that building, and he was going to Vic's to pick up some pizza. He was on his way back to bring it to his son in the building, and as he was driving, he got a phone call and said, somebody there's a fire in your building. And his son and his cat were both in the building. And he pulled over. He said, I ran so fast, my flip-flops flew off. I got in, I got my son. He said someone knocked on the door, but he ignored it. Well, luckily, this time he answered the door, and they got the cat out. And then they witnessed the firemen and the police, and they ran to this building that was in flames. And he just said it was like a movie. I couldn't believe that they were so brave. And I wanted to thank them. And I also want to say, just when you think Bradley Beach is so good, it gets even better. People are supporting these people that are now homeless. They're doing GoFundMes. They're housing them, including our mayor is housing somebody that was a victim of this fire. And I just want to say thank you to everyone, the fire, the police, the OEM, the Red Cross, and our mayor, people like him that are really making a difference in helping these people through a very, very tough time. So thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Chief, and Ron Rinsky. I know he's tuning in as well. On a lighter note, okay, the Board of Ed is having their meeting tonight, so I'll report on that at our next meeting. The tourism had a meeting this morning at 9 a.m. and they discussed, they have a tourism summer season survey. Now, if you fill it out, you may win a gift basket with 5 gift certificates from businesses and also a 2025 Jazz Fest t-shirt. They also talked about their fall series is underway. Every Saturday, there'll be entertainment at 4 p.m. Their current budget is $81,000. Shade Tree had a meeting on September 3rd. They are utilizing that grant, and we'll soon have 70 more trees out and about all around town. So that's wonderful news. They had one application on Ocean Park. Let me just get the address real quick. 215 Ocean Park Avenue is removing 1 tree from private property. Pollinator Point is going to have tulips this year, and their account is currently $16,000. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Okay, for my report, just following up on Councilman Nowicki's comment about the ocean outfall work. As much credit as we all up here try to give Councilman Nowicki and for that matter, Councilwoman Greenblatt for the work they've been doing on Sylvan Lake and on our sewers. I want to once again, sing their praises. We already have funding in place from the New Jersey DEP to do that outfall pipe that the councilman referenced. And we are now with their leadership, we are going back to try to get additional funding from New Jersey DEP. And to that end, we've included and involved a couple of our statewide elected officials to try to assist Bradley Beach in achieving that goal. So just my ongoing thank yous to both of you for the work you're doing to try to minimize the burden on our taxpayers while at the same time saving Sylvan Lake. I also want to give a quick thank you. We were talking about first responders. This past Saturday, September 13th, the congregation Agudath Achim, close, Achim, honored, actually recognized our first responders. They provided a luncheon, and it was a wonderful activity. They've done this for a number of years now, running, I don't even know how many, but it's just a lovely gesture from a community within our community that recognizes the value that our first responders bring to Bradley Beach. So I want to tip my hat to them for that recognition. Quick note, on September 11th, the borough has flown 2 flags in remembrance of that event. And those flags will continue to fly through the end of this month, through the end of September. We had wonderful plans for local summer this past Sunday, and unfortunately it was rained out. Local summer is basically intended to just let all the rest of us celebrate the fact that all of our visitors have gone home to school and to work, whatever. And we get to enjoy our beaches for at least that one day, and hopefully for the month of September. Even though it was rained out, I do want to thank Linda Curtis, who's the brain person behind the event, and Paula Gavin, our police and our DPW. They were all prepared to hold that event, and I'm sure we will do it successfully in the future. Speaking of local summers and speaking of our residents being able to enjoy our beaches, beach lockers will remain in place through the end of the month, barring any unforeseen storms. A severe storm approaching might require us to take in the lockers and minimize damage to them. But right now the plan is to leave lockers out. Any of you who are trying to enjoy our beaches now may have noticed that we did have to remove our Moby mats. We had a lot of beach erosion with the last storm that came through a few weeks ago. The water now was coming in and reaching the Moby mats that we had put back out. So DPW came to me and said, we really can't maintain this. I did give them permission to remove the remaining Moby mats. So let's try to enjoy our beaches as much as we can over the last 2 weeks of September, but just understand that's what's happening a little behind the scenes. Our rec center, following up on Councilwoman Greenblatt's updates, construction is beginning. We delayed that construction to make sure we got through the end of summer camp, and so now we're full speed ahead. Today, I received notice that Bradley Beach will receive a $100,000 grant. Thank you to Senator Vin Gopal and Assemblywomen Peter Paul and Donlin, but they put in a request for Bradley Beach to further enhance our rec center next year. $100,000 that we expect to be able to use to create new pickleball courts. So that's I was hoping I'd be able to announce that, and literally that came in today. So we've been trying to do that for a few months. And with that said, that concludes my report. We can now move to item, 13 on the agenda, public comments and questions. Yeah.
I'm very excited to hear about the $100,000. More pickleball courts. The question is, where would they go? We know that there's a place to put them that is viable. We don't know. We say the greenhouse. So, me and Mullen 302 Fourth Avenue.
Okay.
I got thrown off by the $100,000 grant, and I do have a prepared statement. I've come to these meetings for the last few years, and this is the first time I ever typed something up for myself. So this is, other things have been near and dear to me, so I shouldn't say that. I just haven't more time to. So my point in the $100,000 is we just have no certainty about the greenhouse being viable options. That's the question in everybody's mind. We might not know the answer to that for months to come, because an engineer needs to look at that, like the railroad tracks being right there. So over the past year or so, I periodically stood up here advocating not to have our new courts to include a tennis court. I say this as an avid tennis fan and player. So today, if you have not heard me in the past, you may ask why I would advocate to have dedicated pickleball courts and forgo having the option to play tennis in my own town, to play tennis in my own town, sorry. The reason why is because with pickleball courts laying over a tennis court, you cannot see the tennis court. And knowing that there's a large pickleball community in Bradley, I believe omitting the tennis court serves many more. Think about 16 people using the courts versus 2 people. But that's even if 2 show up on the tennis court that has 18 continuous lines with a line every 3 to 6 feet. So even if a newly surfaced court is available, if you can see the tennis court, what would be the point in striping for tennis if you can't see the tennis court? If you did this on a football field, it is equivalent of having 42 additional lines. Can you imagine how distracting that would be for the players and the fans? I've been told that the recommendation by the rec center committee and the rec director is to be able to serve everyone. But who is everyone? That includes tennis players that will use a court with 18 lines on it. What led the rec committee to this decision? What was their process? Although not publicly available, I had the opportunity to review all rec committee meeting notes year to date, and I can't find anywhere that this topic of whether or not to strike for pickleball for just pickleball was ever discussed. I've also noticed that each time the plan is reviewed at council meeting, the rec director has not been at the meeting. Perhaps I overlooked her attendance. Nothing against Courtney, but is she familiar with tennis so she could possibly understand how difficult it is to play that sport with 18 lines? Last week, approximately 26 residents attended the monthly rec committee meeting. My understanding is that this has never happened before where any residents have attended a rec meeting. Within the crowd of residents, there were several tennis players. A few made statements that they would find it impossible to play on a tennis court with all those lines. One said you'd have to be a genius. A few tennis-only players have even said that they will never use a tennis court that has so many lines, but found dedicated tennis courts in neighboring communities to play on. For all we know, there are 1,000+ tennis players in this town, but they just can't use the court that they can't see. So for those less serious players, or as I think you call them, recreational players, then just put up a tennis net so that they can hit the ball back and forth over the net. And that's like what it is. That is really all you can do when there are so many lines to try to see as you are running for the ball. At the last council meeting, Councilman Nowicki suggested that we look at the striping decision again to ensure we are best serving the community. It seemed that the council agreed. So we were led to believe that the council could decide on how the striping on the courts will be. Even at last week's rec meeting, the rec director said that it was the decision of the council. After a year of lobbying for pickleball only, I only learned last week, after the rec committee meeting, that the grant money is contingent upon us having a dual-purpose court. Why didn't our engineer, who's involved with the filing to get the grant, ever state this when presenting the plan and when I suggested pickleball only lines? But then I learned that there is a way to request a change in the plan so that the dedicated pickleball courts can be considered. I am told this is a lengthy, arduous process, but is it? In all fairness, because we only get one chance on this for probably decades to come, shouldn't we now look to see if there is still an option for pickleball only courts? I believe this process requires a public hearing. If even 20 people show up that want tennis lines embedded into pickleball courts, then the public may be satisfied with the dual purpose. But please give us an opportunity to prove me wrong. With this said, what is the process? And I know you're going to say something about that we've discussed the greenhouse, but again, with no certainty to that, it still raises the question, why bother with the tennis lines? Thank you for the extra time.
Thank you for your comments. Yes. Pointing to the woman.
You or me?
Pointing
Okay.
to her, but
Oh,
you'll
I'm
be
sorry.
next.
I have to run, so that's why I'm a little anxious. Oh, are you sure? I have a pet sitter coming at 5:30. I'm Michelle Collins, 1102 Madison. I just wanted to thank the council for allowing me to turn the town teal. I am a 10-year ovarian cancer survivor, and I'm grateful to be able to raise awareness. We also have a walk this Saturday. The Pledge of Hope Ovarian Cancer Foundation is hosting it. I'm a board member on that, and that is to raise money for grants for patients who are going through chemo treatment, and also for research. So we're happy to have the support of the council and the town. The ribbons will be taken down before October, don't worry. And also I wanted to advocate for the pickleball. I'm a new annual resident here, and I've been welcomed so nicely by the pickleball community, and it's such a cool group, and it's, I don't know, I've never seen tennis players playing tennis ever. There's always usually like 16 pickleball players there, and it seems silly to have it as a dual court, to have 2 tennis players playing as opposed to like 16 pickleball players who could be making use of it. And I would, if you guys could get new nets, if you're doing the courts, like the nets that are on wheels, they're a lot more sturdy and easier to, or nets into the ground would be great, but I know that might be an issue with sewage or something.
May I ask, how do you sign up for the walk for on Saturday?
Oh, it's a website. I could email it to you.
Well, just say it real quick. I'll just
Oh,
write
it's
it.
Kaleidoscope of Hope. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think the website is kohnj.com.
I'll look it up. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nancy, yes?
Nancy Meadow, Ocean Park Condominiums. Take this with a grain of salt. If our website is accurate, there's paid parking through the first Sunday after Labor Day. Say no more. I would like to applaud the transparency that there's going to be renovations of rooms here. I remember when that was extended during the past administration, we were not informed, it just appeared, kind of like Recyclegate with the other offices. So how nice to be informed. Thank you. And regarding informing, it would be helpful to me if departments that have meetings with volunteers posted that on the website. There was a meeting for this month that I would have liked to have participated in, as well as listened to. That happened today, and was posted yesterday. People have lives, and I find it very disrespectful, and I think that as the governing body, it would be helpful for you to standardize this kind of thing. That also happened with the rec center meeting, and these departments that do have volunteers do not post their minutes. The ones that are on Zoom is not available to the public, and I think you guys are smart enough that if you want to, you can adjust that. In addition, I know I've spoken before about spreading ourselves too thin and not maximizing certain services, and it is beyond my realm of comprehension how the Belmar San Gennaro Festival, which quite honestly is scheduled years in advance, and the senior now, which has become such a big deal and is also scheduled years in advance, and then we think we can do a Latin festival that same weekend. I think you all are smart enough also that you can address protocols as to how we schedule things. And if it's not going to be to our benefit, then we need to do something else. And if somebody could get back to me and explain, we are all one supposedly, but some of us seem to step on others' toes. And it's my understanding, because I even was in it, that there's a rec center building, and I don't understand why Mahjong is not in it. Thank you.
The last comment was, you don't understand why
Mahjong.
is.
Yeah.
It's not held there and is held in a different facility.
I can tell you why. What
I don't know,
happened?
if I don't want to hear it, don't say it.
No, it's not bad. What happens is they have the summer program, so they had to stop the Mahjong during it. So we moved it to the senior center, because most of them are seniors that play anyway, and they loved it. And so I thought, if they love it, why put them back to the rec center? And we're utilizing a building that's made for seniors. So
This all started before the summer season, so don't get me started. Don't get me started. with
Well, that's what I'm
summer.
saying, like what happened, they had something going on, so they had one meeting here, and they're like, this is great, we love it. So it's no harm, no foul, I thought, it's just a nice place to be, and they like it.
Well, I think it
And so-
infringes on others when their building's empty, but that's just my opinion.
What's that?
I said, that's just my opinion.
That were you, say it again, that about empty, why I hear you?
The rec center is left empty
Oh.
while they're using the senior center, that other things are going on and other people are using for other things. So it's
Right.
kind of in the way they should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is a
My
community
opinion.
center, so that is nice, but.
Yeah,
But thank you.
The rec center is
Yeah.
also a community center.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's just my opinion.
That's true.
Yeah, please have a question. The rec committee is a committee, and I was actually advised by the rec committee that they are not required to post their meetings on the website, and so they're not posted on the website. And in fact, I was told I operated out of turn by sharing all of the meeting minutes. So I'm not exactly sure if that's true. Perhaps we can get clarity on whether a committee.
I think in general, okay, so there are things that Bradley Beach can do better. And it would not surprise me if we can do a better job of capturing minutes and meetings, posting them timely on our website when these meetings are occurring. Please understand, we have many committees and commissions and so forth. All of them have somewhat different rules and regulations. Most of them are comprised of volunteers. So we have to get a little better, I think, at just managing our communications. And one of the projects we have to look at this fall will be actually whether or not we consider a new website. No matter what the platform is, you know, it's only going to be as good as the data we put in it. But that is certainly on the agenda for the second half of this year, but more like the last quarter of this year. So can we do better? Yes. Did we post a meeting that should have been yesterday and they held it today? I'm sorry to hear that, but I guess I'm not surprised. These things happen occasionally. And all I can tell you is Amy Baker has just been appointed full-time to take on a communications role. Many may not realize that, but she was doing communications work for the borough for free. We were not paying her for communications work. Now we are. As a result of paying her full-time, she and I are having regular correspondence even now about rules and procedures she's going to promulgate. I think we're going to tighten up various loose ends and get better. So, but any one concern raised, I acknowledge there are concerns out there, and we're trying to get better. Any other comments? Yes, to that.
Marion, they have 102 for that. I'm happy to hear about the $100,000 grant that has been awarded for the rec. So considering that, on behalf of the more than 670 members of Team Reach Bradley Beach, the hundreds that have taken pickleball lessons here and are playing here, have you made a final decision, and can you share that? What will happen with the existing space that now has a tennis court and we're setting up portable nets? Can that now be dedicated pickleball courts and consider that $100,000? If the demand is for tennis, then put that next. Why can't the pickleball be prioritized?
So, you know, I know there are other people in the room who probably want to stand up and talk pickleball as well. So let me just address your comment once. If others want to repeat your question, I guess we can repeat the answer. But the short answer is Bradley Beach has one court. Currently, it is a shared court. So the question becomes, do we ostracize? We're not going to ostracize the pickleballers. We're not. If someone said earlier, moments ago, they never see a tennis player there. If we were to say, tennis players, you can't play here, we're taking away your lines, what are we really giving you, 5% more court usage? On the other hand, if we ostracize 10 tennis players you know, a week that go out and volley, is that really fair? People who you happen to be in, the pickleball community, are in the majority, by far. That's why we'd like to build more pickleball courts. But does it really mean that for the rest of this year, we disrupt the process that's existed for a number of years already to ostracize the 10 or 20 tennis players that like to go out and volley on a sunny afternoon? And what do we give you by doing that? We give you 5% more court time. I've talked to members of your, not you as individuals here tonight, but I've talked to Mike Strohan, I've talked to other, Mike is the one who developed the Pickleball Bradley Beach Facebook page, one of the most balanced, understanding gentlemen I've met, and he has pledged to me that the pickleball community doesn't really mind tennis lines. The pickleball players will play on a tennis line court.
It isn't just that.
No, but every person who stands here says tennis players won't play on a court lined with pickleball. Pickleball players, my understanding is, please tell me if I'm wrong, will play, and my sister is like a 4.2 or 4.3 rated pickleball player. I've asked her this question. It's not that we're not listening to you. We hear you, but we're trying to serve the entire community. We're trying to understand even the minority in our community have rights, people who like to volley a tennis ball. And when we look at the logistical challenges of, as you've heard, and we have lengthy write-ups, of changing our court alignment for Green Acres purposes, they're telling us it could be 6 months to a year if we wanted to make the request. It's not that we're not listening, it's just there's so little, in my opinion, I'm not speaking for the whole council, in my opinion, there's so little value in changing what we have today when our community today is sharing. Michael Stroman said to me, this pickleball community, they're going to be thrilled that we're resurfacing the courts. Thrilled at resurfacing.
That is true. I will believe that if you had a camera placed on that court, and you watched, I would be very surprised to see how many people play tennis in 1 month period.
I think you're right. So that's the point. Why take it away from those tennis people?
From 2, 4, 6 people, maybe. There's never anyone playing tennis.
I spoke to someone, Mia, I think mentioned, the rec director hasn't been at meetings. I asked her, Courtney, could she join us tonight, anticipating that people might want to talk about this. She couldn't, I asked her last second, she had other commitments. But I said to her, can you name tennis players? And she did. She named, top of her head, 8 or 10 tennis players that come and play. So now that may only be 10. So those 10 people, the community is asking us, tell them they can no longer play here. What are they using? 5% of the court time for the month? Listen to the arguments here. We're trying to be fair
It's
to
about
everybody.
dedicating that space.
Plus,
Because if you see what happens to the condition of the nets that we play on, even though they were purchased by private citizens, the town didn't even supply the last 4
understand.
courts. They're a mess.
Well, we've talked specifically to Courtney about that, and she is going to acquire, as part of the current renovation, heavy-duty structural nets that are on wheels. Now, they're not permanent, because it's still gonna be able to play tennis.
understand.
But, she's listening to our pickleball community, and we're all listening, and as I mentioned, Vin Gopal, when he announced to me today that we were getting this grant, and I have it in a formal email, he specifically asked me for wording. People are saying, I know, Mia, you mentioned, yeah, but what guarantee do we have? Where's it
Right.
going to be? You will see a press release from Senator Gopal quoting me, and that press release is saying it's going to be used for pickleball. It's going to be used for enhancements, including pickleball courts. Because now, do we know exactly where they're going to be and how many? No. But that's a process that we go through with everything we do in municipal government. We need to fix the sewer. Okay, can we get bonding? Can we get funding for it? Do we do it priority over this other sewer that needs work? We have to go through a process. I'm meeting with engineers later this week, Avakian, specifically to ask them to look at where we can build the pickleball courts. The initial conversation includes, but it's not limited to, the greenhouse. And can we expand beyond the greenhouse? And is it too close to train tracks?
I think it's practically on the train tracks.
I said, the conversation includes the greenhouse, it's not limited to.
I just think that the idea of putting dedicated pickleball courts and then addressing the tennis would be far more popular than,
Yeah. Would you say, you as a football player or others that you're speaking for as in this room, you can all speak, of course, but would you say if you could not change, that you would not play pickleball anymore on this court, or are you aligned with the tennis people who won't play tennis?
no, we can play pickleball on court. If you have already, which I'm sure the decision has been made, I'm well aware that this construction, reconstruction, resurfacing is going to begin very soon. So, that said, I don't think we should have to wait another 6 months or a year before those, the rolling nets are put in place there. Once that surface is done, that should be part of that.
And they will be. That is,
All right, thank you.
okay, thank you. Yes, Eileen, way in the back.
Joe Cooley, 509 Mountain Avenue.
Joe, I'm sorry, I pointed to.
Boy, I can never get this right.
You're next.
Apologize.
I'm sorry, I was trying to point over, sorry, Jen.
I heard my name. You may go first, it's okay. You guys go first, no.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Just a second. Just a second.
Eileen Shishias, 112 Fourth Avenue. Trying to be a voice of reason. I have been seen at these meetings for years now, and I've learned one thing, and I observed one thing. We all have our own lanes that we are passionate about. You know what mine is, and I know Sylvan Lake has their issue, Fletcher Lake has their issue, pickleball has their issue, tennis have their issue. We can go on and on and on. But what I want to do is say thank you, to the council and the mayor, and the VA, and Erica, for putting up for the impatience of your community, me included. I want it now. It's not going to happen. The more I learn about municipal government, I understand, and I am trying to be patient about my things that I'm very passionate about, but I know we have to follow a process. In the end, we will all be satisfied, but I think we have to be more understanding and become better listeners about the process that you people have to go through. Our residents are not used to having a council like this, who are listening to us and trying to reason with us and explain to us with intellect and purpose as to why things have to be the way they are. Thank you. And I promise I'll try to be more patient about my passion. The lockers, the showers, the features. You all know when I come up here, and the bill list. I mean, we all have our own lanes. But thank you for putting up with the residents. And you are trying in your best to do the best for all the residents and satisfying everyone. You have accomplished so much in such a short period of time. It's amazing. And I can only imagine the behind the scenes hours and work, hours that you have spent to try to meet the needs of our residents. I can go on and on and on, but thank you. And I want to promise that this baby boomer will try to be more patient, because I know my generation wants it now. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments?
No.
Oh, Joe.
Me, I could
You
go
were-
now?
you were-
Sure.
I almost pointed right past you.
Oh, God, Joe Kulik, 509 Madison Avenue. Jane, 2 weeks ago at the last council meeting, another resident brought up about the broken lamp posts.
Yes,
You, and I heard that you were gonna have a meeting about them? What
Well-
came about that?
I know, you said that we're gonna take a look at those lampposts, what happened with that?
I have to follow back up with the department.
Okay, because what Public Works has to address it, I'm sure they're gonna cap them off and put a cone on or something. Maybe we can follow up with them and see if they got that done.
Will do.
And do you have Joe's email that you can talk to each other? Maybe
No, I'll get it at the end of the meeting.
give Matt your email,
Yeah, I'll
so
get
he
it.
can follow up with you.
Yeah. I just thought they could tuck the wires in a hole and put a plate over
They,
them.
you know,
that's
yeah,
all.
they might even done something to them and we wouldn't even know it, but Matt will be he's on top of that.
Another resident brought up about the eyesore of the greenhouse at the rec plant. Can't PW just take the building down and at least the building will be gone? It's not that big of a building.
Even though it's not being used as a greenhouse, it's being used for storage right now.
Oh,
So it does have somewhat of a purpose, but we think we could utilize it better as a pickleball court.
okay.
So that's
all right.
more recreation rather than just storage. So, but it has run its useful life already, the greenhouse.
Okay,
That was a
thanks,
good
guys.
question. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Paul, Ms. Shannon. Call people by name so I don't point accurately.
On the Shampton 411 and a half Lorraine Avenue. Well, the church is gone, empty lot there now. Hopefully in less than an hour, those lots will be sold off. It'd be nice if they were all bought, put together as a tennis center maybe. I don't know if John Weber would like that. But anyway.
Zone residential.
Anyway, not all of the church is gone. The Bradley Beach Historical Society has saved many of the artifacts of the church. And this Sunday, from 4 to 6, we're having an open house at the Biasi Center. And we've invited former parishioners to come back and claim a Bible or hymnal, which we saved from the church. We have over 100 of them that are inscribed with the donors' names and who they were dedicated to. We're hoping those people will reunite with these books. Also, we will pull out in a pop-up exhibit some of the artifacts, the stained glass windows, the cornerstone, pews, other things that we have saved from the church before it was demolished. So that's open house from 4 to 6. Please spread the word, especially if you know some former parishioners. We'd love to get them back.
Sunday?
Question, John?
Sunday?
This Sunday.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Ozzie Center is across the building.
Others, Mr. Bagwell?
Thank you, Mayor. Larry Bagwell, 305 Park Place Avenue resident, but also the Shade Tree, Bradley Beach Shade Tree Commissioner, and Chairman. And just a comment regarding the lots that are going up for auction tonight. I'm not sure what kind of direction we can take, but in just viewing the lot after the buildings came down, came to my attention that the lot that is furthest east on the property abuts against the property that contains one of the trees that was noted in our program that we had last year for trees older than Bradley Beach. So this is a tree that's reaching heritage status, and I think we're trying to inquire about what our abilities to have it nominated as a heritage tree is. And I don't know that we can necessarily stop construction, and I don't think we're looking for that. But there are certain things that can be done to protect the tree that abuts against that property, like directing the construction of any structures away from where the root system does infringe upon the east side of that property. The root system of that oak tree is probably spans out to the length of the branches that the tree has. So, and it does come onto the property, I guess, 20 to 25 feet. And of a 50-foot piece of a 50-foot parcel, if they directed, if they were going to have a garage apartment on the property towards the rear, they build on the west side of the property instead of the east side, and therefore protect the tree. So I don't know if there's if an easement could go with the lot, or some kind of a stipulation for the purchaser of the lot to direct the building so that it doesn't ruin the tree that's right on the beach.
Thank you for your thoughts. Yes, sir.
Very good segue to what I'm here for. My name is Zig Panic. I'm a licensed tree expert, and I'm here to advocate for two of the trees, 313 Lorraine Avenue. I just want to give you a quick synopsis of my background. I'm a resident of Monmouth County since 1975. I'm a member of the International Society of Arborists, the New York Shade Tree Federation. I'm a former park manager for the 360-acre Huber Park. I was also the manager for the 800-acre Hartshorn Woods. I was also the assistant superintendent for Shade Tree for Monmouth County for 600 miles of highway trees. And I was also the licensed tree expert for all the parks in Monmouth County and golf courses. So I did have an opportunity to have a look at the two trees. They are historic trees. I just want to bring, well, first of all, I want to thank the mayor and council for letting me come up and speak about these two trees. I'm not a resident of Bradley Beach, but I'm proud to say I'm a tree hugger. And I'm here to, I did hug those trees yesterday. So, but I want to remind everyone here, and you might remember that on this day, in 1999, Hurricane Floyd hit this area, and it was devastated. It was severely flooded. Those two trees took that flood, and they are over 150 years old. And I don't know if anyone really knows the history of it, but James Bradley, who was the founder of Bradley Beach, donated those trees. Those were two of the trees that were left from that community, because he also donated other trees for the church being built, and basically he was looking for a church in the woods. So these are the last two remaining trees. So I did have a look at it, and I measured it, and the two trees there the circumference is 9 feet 6 inches around. The canopy goes approximately a diameter of 100 feet. So, and it does overlap, as the gentleman before me talked about, it does overlap on the other property. And so goes it with the tree roots. The tree roots can also go out that far. And in my experience with trees, especially for these older trees, this tree has a capacity to live to 400 years or maybe better. I mean, right now it's withstand that hurricane, Hurricane Sandy, and many before that. I don't know if it's going to withstand any development that gets built next door to it. And I'm asking this council to look at that lot, and there could be some sort of a deed restriction. I've worked with other developers on that. Nobody wants to stop the building from going there, but we need to be aware that this tree is there, and if there's any kind of digging, any kind of work that needs to be done, it should be supervised by, I'm not looking for the job, but it needs to be supervised by someone who is an expert. And I just think that needs to be looked at, and maybe when that lot gets sold on that portion, that should be made aware. And hopefully a tree lover is going to buy it, because he'll have that beautiful tree right next door, and it's really part of his property. And they'll look over, there's a short fence, you can see right through. It's really quite a magnificent tree. I really don't have anything else to say about it. It's just that whatever we can do to preserve those trees, and I'm happy to donate some time to help that happen. So, thank you very much.
Appreciate your comments, Mr. Bagwell. I will say that it's a gorgeous tree. I don't think anyone up here disagrees that it's a little late now in the game to talk about deed restrictions or whatever, but we'll certainly be aware of that and work with whoever purchases the property to see what they are willing to consider to do with their property.
Well, Lisa, if somebody doesn't come out there and start hacking away at the canopy, there are things that can be done there, you know, without affecting that neighbor, that new neighbor that might be there. So if you have an expert that's, will come out there and work with that homeowner if there's any digging for, let's say, a garage apartment, we could take a look at that and make sure that backhoe work in there. And I've done that with a lot of builders in different communities that I work in. And when it's done, we clean the wound, we treat the wound, and we backfill properly. And the tree will live another 100, 200 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can you just repeat your name, please?
Zig, Z-I-G.
Uh-huh.
My last name is Pan, P-A-N-K.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions from the audience here? Okay, seeing none, I'll go to Zoom. Mary Ann Stillman, I believe your hand is raised.
I'm trying to unmute. Okay, I think I have. Yes, I have a question about what happened with on September 2nd meeting, we had a bond ordinance 2025-29 for the renovation or the work to be done at the pump house. And I wonder what happened to that ordinance, because I had objected to the wording was not descriptive of what was actually being done. And I thought that the council agreed that there should be changes made, but I don't know what happened, whether there were changes made and that's going to be reintroduced. Where does that stand?
I was not in attendance, so this is the first I'm hearing about this.
Matt, you want to take it?
It was passed.
We passed it as it was,
Yeah.
recognizing that the word is not perfectly descriptive, but we passed it as it was written.
Oh, I did not hear the passing of it, so I'm disappointed because I think that when we go for a CAFRA permit, we may get into some expensive problems unnecessarily because we're suggesting in the wording that there are functioning bathrooms there. So we are implying that the sewer capacity is sufficient for the bathrooms that we'd like to have there. And I am not sure that the very reason that pump house was abandoned because of potential sewer problems. So I don't know where that sewage is going to be dumped, whether it's going to affect the beach in any way. But when we go for a CAFRA permit, that's going to have to be addressed. And I thought it would look a lot better if we described the process internally more accurately before we start the expensive process of going for a CAFRA permit.
So Ms. Spillman, I unfortunately wasn't able to attend that meeting, so I missed the concerns that you just relayed now. But I can tell you that we've been working with CME, our engineer. They don't believe, they're going to confirm, but they've already had conversations and they don't believe we need to request CAFRA permitting because there's going to be no expansion of the actual building. So that's at least what we're being told. I'm also told that there's kind of a dry well underneath the building. There's no active sewage there. It's just, I don't know, 6 foot deep area that is dry. They used to store sewage.
But that's not where the waste from, when that becomes bathrooms, that's gonna get piped into our sewage system, just like your house and my house and everybody's house, and that's where it's going. It's not going anywhere else.
But we have a bathroom there now. It's a trailer.
Right, I understand.
And so, again, the goal is to, be able as a borough to move forward to enhance the facilities that we provide to our residents and visitors. But as far as I'm aware, I think you're being wise to raise these concerns, some of which, if not most of which, we've already shared with CME. So I'll continue to raise these questions. Matt Doherty, as our VA, will continue to raise them. Hopefully we don't even have to deal with CAFRA permitting. And I think at least my understanding is we have adequate sewer capabilities now. So hopefully, I think these are very good questions to raise. Hopefully, though, we have good answers.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the wording is designed to avoid CAFRA issues, because they do imply that we have a functioning bathroom there, and that would be very different from proposing bathrooms, which is really what we're doing. And so I'm wondering whether the CAFRA issue has been adequately addressed.
Okay, no, thank you. I'll raise this with CME as well. Anything else, Ms. Spillman?
Well, the other thing is I wanted to say that this bond ordinance addresses, in section 3, it addresses some plans that were already finally approved by the borough. And those are not easily accessible. They're not on the website. They're not anywhere that people can just adequately address without going and meeting with the chief financial officer. So I think it's only fair to the county, the residents, to know what the council has approved as the plans for that facility.
Okay, great. I wasn't aware they're not posted, but we will have them posted. And
Thank you.
Yep, very good, thank you. There is another hand, I can't read the name.
Ron Minsky.
Oh.
Okay, you want to call that person?
Ron Minsky, go ahead.
Oh, Ron Minsky.
Hi, Ron Minsky, 706 Lorraine Avenue, Fire Chief, Borough of Bradley Beach. I just want to thank the mayor, the council, the residents for recognizing my department and the efforts of my members, not just for the fire last Sunday, but you've been constant support for us and everything we do. And I just want to thank the mayor, council, and all the residents of the borough for that.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Okay, I see no other hands raised. Any other in the room? All right, we will close the public comments and questions. Move to executive session. There is none scheduled for tonight. And we have reached that point in the meeting that I warned you about. We are going to take about a 30-minute break, reconvene around 6:25 as we prepare for the auction.
And Mr. Mayor, it's back to school night for one of my high schoolers, so I won't be when we come back.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman.
Question, will we be able to hear the bids?
Well, what's going to occur in this room, if you care to stay, it will not be on Zoom. We don't. I mean, someone mentioned that the capacity for the room may not even hold current people plus 80. There are 80 people who shared their information with us. I'm highly doubtful that 80 people are going to show up to bid, but it could be 10 or 20. I don't know. It could be 2.
We'll figure it out so it's a public option. Everyone will pick the option one at a time, or we're just one. Let's figure it out. If we have to go out front, go out front.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. The answer is yes.
Yes.
We'll make sure that.
Thank you all. We are officially on break.
I'm sorry, what's your phone number? 732?
This thing, is it fun? I just elevated.
You know what those are?
That's